My name is Claylee Fielding. I'm from New Hampshire. This year I'm a co-director of canoeing, and I also enjoy teaching archery and tennis and nature. A typical day at Little Wohelo begins with the bell ringing and waking everyone up. And the girls decide if they want to take a dip in the lake before going to breakfast. And if they take a dip every single morning that they're here, they get a special Big Dipper patch. And then everyone changes and goes to breakfast. On their way to breakfast, the girls check the activity board to see what their activities will be for that day, because at Little Camp, everyone has an activity group and their activities change every day. And then everyone goes to breakfast. After breakfast, everyone goes back to their cabin for cabin cleanup. And it's a really important time when the cabin bonds and the girls work on cooperation in a group. And everyone has a different job. After you clean up the cabin, the bell rings once again, and everyone disperses in their activity groups to their first activity. So there are 3 activities in the morning, which are each an hour long. And one of those hours is an instructional swim lesson. So everyone has a swim lesson every day, and the other 2 activities in the morning can be anything really. Tennis, water skiing, canoeing, nature, crafts, and they all rotate every day. Once the activities are over for the morning, all the cabins come back together and we have cabin time, which is usually an hour-long period of time where everyone bonds as a cabin, and sometimes you do really fun things like tubing, or you go for a cabin swim. A lot of cabins play games. Sometimes it's a Uno game that you play for weeks on end, and other times it's maybe just a fun game on the playground. After cabin time, the bell rings again and everyone comes to lunch. And everyone has a different table that you sit at that changes every week. And the girls sing songs after lunch, and there are announcements, and after lunch everyone runs back to their cabin for rest hour. After rest hour, there are 3 more periods of activities. One of each of them is a free swim hour. At the free swim hour, the girls can choose whether they want to go to free swim or not. And they play in the water, they play on the water mat, they dive for rings, and we have a water slide. Besides the free swim hour, the girls are assigned another activity period, which can be any of our activities at camp, and they go to them with their activity group. And then from 5 to 6, it's a free time for everyone, and counselors offer activities on the playground, and it's a independent time for the girls to choose what they want to do. It's not assigned. They can participate in teams or write a letter home. At dinner, we have a buffet supper, so everyone files through the dining hall and picks out what they want to eat for dinner, and then everyone sits outside on the playground playing games and sitting with their friends. After dinner, most nights we have assembly. Other nights of the week we have game night or Frog's Frolic, which is our special night of the week on Saturdays. And that's when awards are given out. We hear from the Nighthawk and the Blue Heron about how clean and quiet each cabin has been that week. And we sing songs that are reserved specially for Frog's Frolic and sit in a circle. Sometimes guests come and there are performances that we all get to enjoy. The day comes to an end after assembly with the TAPS bell ringing, letting everyone know it's time to be quiet and be on your bed. The one counselor will come around for each unit and do check-in, saying goodnight to everyone. And then it is time for sleep and listen for the Nighthawk flying around.